Hello, everybody. Dom Santina Media back with you. Snowcross is back this weekend, and we have a few things to get caught up on. Motorsports are in high gear. NASCAR and the Daytona 500s around the corner. NHRA had their shootout in Florida. Snowcross, Supercross, lot to talk about this week, but we're going to start the week off with Snowcross. Once again, we said they're back. The pros went to Valcourt for their two-race showdown there. And wow, what a weekend! A lot to go over. Couple of things to highlight and go through, and of course, we'll have our five takeaways as well. And we'll start right there with some of the positives. I thought, and I got to see her race earlier this season in December at the Border Cup, but Cheyenne Goslin had a great weekend. I think she finished in third on Sunday and had a top five finish, I think, on Saturday with a couple really solid heat races. So, a really, really good weekend for her up in Canada. She gets our green flag segment of the week. Thought that was really, really an impressive ride for her in that Pro Am women's class. Um, White flag goes to Francis Peltier. What a round for him, as they mentioned multiple times on the broadcast. Not really running the full national circuit, but he definitely made his presence known on the weekend, running up front, contending for Triple Crown wins and the overall, and really showed that he can stick with these guys. And if he was on the circuit full time, well, this championship battle might look a little bit differently if he was in the mix. Checkered flag, I have two of them. Jordan LaBelle. I know it was a little bit of checkers and wreckers this weekend, but I thought he rode outstanding. I think he knew he needed to bring the intensity. He knew he needed a good ride in front of the home crowd, and he brought it. He looked mighty fast all weekend long, and I think he definitely would have stole the overall Sunday or just outright dominated the overall on Sunday had he not racked in that third race of the Triple Crown. Saturday, I think he would have definitely been in contention for the overall had he not gone down there as well. And gonna be part of a few hot takes here. This will kind of start us off. But I've been in the minority with the Triple Crowns. I think Triple Crowns have helped this pro class. I think they're entertaining. When it comes to Supercross, not so much a fan of having a Triple Crown every race, but for Snowcross, I think it works. And I think it's entertaining because the intensity's ramped up because you only have a few minutes to get there. And when you do have a mistake, like an Emo Har on Sunday, um, he has the ability to make up for it and come back. And if that was a one race format, he's done. His race is over. We see him probably try to push through, but not like he did in Triple Crown round one. Yeah, obviously like a few more, so it's not maybe so easy for some of those guys to come back. But I think anything you were dreaming of in Triple Crown race one on Sunday is that's the staple, right? I go back to a few races that I've seen in the full rate, right? Full race spectrum where you're just having the two heat races and then the final. You think about Tucker's 100th win is one of those special ones, and there's been multiple others where you sit back and wow, that was a great race. But you look at that Triple Crown round one on Sunday, and you have LaBelle and Cody Cam going at it for numerous laps. Not a one lap, maybe a counterattack. No, they were bar to bar with each other for multiple laps. And then you have it wasn't mentioned on the broadcast nearly as much as Emo Har. But you have Jake Yerk who jumped the start, falls to the back, rides maybe his best Triple Crown race I've ever seen. Most aggressive, and just making moves, right? Storming up through the field, just having an impressive ride, kind of leading the way for Emo, who goes down after the finish line jump, connecting with teammate Cody Cam. And both of them are just kind of coming through the field very quickly. And I think had Jake not got together with Cody Cam, which those two are like two magnets this year and just can't stay away from each other, he's up there either contending for the win there in round one, or he's definitely probably finishing second. And then you have Emil, who again goes down on lap 1, comes back and storms back to a 3rd place finish, which obviously Cody and Jake getting together helped that out, but still, and just an incredible race. And I think that is the potential of Triple Crowns, and that's what excites me about a Triple Crown, is seeing that. And when's the last time we've had a bar-to-bar battle for multiple laps? I know the broadcast sometimes tries to hype it up and make it closer than it actually is, but that was a good battle for multiple laps between LaBelle and Cam. All right, moving on to some of our things of worry or anger or concern, and we got a couple of them. Caution, I got 2 this week from the weekend. I've just kind of had enough of it. Robbie Malinowski's skidoo bias, in my opinion. Anytime a skidoo rider, is up front or doing something, it's, everything's great, everything's good. Anytime an Arctic Cat or a Polaris rider make the slightest little bobble, he's right there to call them out. And I thought it was very obvious this weekend and kind of very annoying. Saturday was a little worse than Sunday, but I just had enough. Like, Robbie, I get it. You're trying to provide insight into everything, but there's definitely some skidoo bias shining through. And obviously, he ended his career with skidoo, and I think still has some ties there, so that's why. But got to try to put that aside. Obviously, it's hard when skidoo's dominating the sport right now, right? But I think there's a little bit of give and take there. It's a little over the top at times. The other yellow flag I have for this week, I don't think the switch to Polaris is going very well for Dan Benham. He was having a pretty solid ride, and then something happens. I don't know if it was mechanical or if it was a rider error, and goes down. And it's just definitely not nearly as comfortable as he was with Woody's and Arctic Cat last year. And it's become very obvious here now, a couple of rounds in, that that's the case. Not nearly the speed. Seems like every round or every other round he's having some sort of issue, whether that's going down or mechanical. Brent's at. But I just don't think it's really working. And part of it is Dan came in, a round into the season and made that switch. So really no practice time to get used to that Polaris. And it's not looking well. Final black flags, 2 things from the weekend. Number 1, Drew Freeland, man. I didn't get to see the incident report, and it's probably going to come out here today or tomorrow. But, they DQ'd Oscar Norm for his move against Cody Cam a couple weeks ago in Deadwood. That move by Drew Freeland, I think it was round 1, heat 1 on Saturday. Robbie said it was a racing move. That was not a racing move. When you T-bone a sled and you put the nose of the sled right into the tunnel, that's not a racing move. There was plenty other instances. I wrote down Cam Cole had one. I was trying to think. I know there was quite a few. I think Hunter Patnode had one, like where he went side panel, just kind of gave him a little love tap and moved him out of the racing line. Drew Freeland, I don't know if he missed the break or if he gave it a little more and misjudged it, but he drove right into the side of Brandon Nelson and just cleaned him right out. And so, like I said, that could be kind of a hot take on my end. But that was not a racing move there at the end. And I said 2, but I guess really only 1 black flag for this week. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for Snocross Valcourt. I thought I actually put on a pretty good show. Was really hesitant about it. I know some riders in the past have not been a fan of going up there, but I thought I put on a pretty good show. It looked like the track was made a little bit better and more entertaining. And obviously by the female podium, or the pro women's podium, it sounds like it's going to be something that continues. And I guess, again, with Skidoo being your biggest manufacturer right now, you're going to do what makes them happy. So look forward to Valcourt in the future, and we're going to get ready for Salamanca, New York in 2 weeks, and we'll see what we take away from there. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned. Once again, got a few Supercross things to catch up on. NHRA, like I said, made their season debut, and NASCAR is getting ready to go. So stay tuned to the page, and we'll have more coming for you.